I love schedules. I love a good plan. I am a task-oriented, type A, list maker, and planner. I love finding schedules and plans that work well for my kids. But I often let the schedule become my ruler and become the boss. And when our life isn't fitting into the plan that I've made, I start feeling overwhelmed and I feel stressed out. In the last video, I discussed some schedules for your days and weeks. But today I'm gonna be talking about yearly schedules. It may not seem that important, schedules, like what does it even matter? But it does impact the way that your homeschool will feel during the day and what will actually be accomplished and what they'll be ready for in the following year. Thinking through scheduling actually does matter. It's the yearly structure that really shapes what's going on and helps prevent burnout. Now, before I talk about the yearly schedules, I do want to ask you to please subscribe to our channel. Subscribing to our channel helps us to keep making free content for you. The first yearly schedule I want to talk about is the traditional one. Many homeschoolers choose to follow the public school calendar. It just makes sense for a lot of people. If your kids want to play with their friends who go to public or private school when they are off, it makes sense to follow that same schedule. In fact, that's just kind of what we think of now when we think of the school year, starting mid-August, ending mid-May. It's just kind of the norm. And I think most homeschoolers start out following this type of schedule. The other advantage to this type of schedule is that in the summers, there are so many local opportunities available. Our local library has special library programs that we want to be a part of. Churches are doing vacation Bible schools. Maybe your kids go to a summer camp. Maybe they spend a week with their grandparents out of town, or you go to the beach as a family every year. And those things mean a lot to you. If you want to keep your summer free for those type of activities, following a traditional school year schedule makes a lot of sense for you. The idea of taking a summer break, though, was really invented for families living on farms so that they could harvest. So there's been a big push in recent years to move to year-long schooling. Many school systems do a year-long schooling schedule where they spread breaks out throughout the year, but you really school all year long. It prevents a loss of knowledge during those long summer months and kind of helps academically all the way around. Many homeschoolers also embrace a year-long schedule as it helps create a relaxed environment for your kids. Also, many homeschoolers like me struggle with the kids having too much free time during the summer. They kind of don't know what to do with themselves. They wander around the house, going to and fro, trying to find things to do. Keeping up that regular routine in our home just works better, honestly, for our family and I think for many other families. Year-long homeschoolers cover generally the same content as other homeschoolers. It's just spread out. Practically speaking, the way this looks, some take an extra long Christmas break. They take extra week-long breaks during the school year. Sometimes they only do a 4-day school week and then take longer weekends, or they just take periodic time off throughout the year when it's really beautiful. I always have said it makes a lot more sense to me to take time off in the fall and the spring when it's beautiful outside than in July. Where we live, it's so hot in July, nobody wants to go outside and the kids just sit around the house complaining about how hot it is everywhere. So it's much more enjoyable to take time off in October and April than it is to take a summer break. Ultimately, there are a lot of ways to make the year-long schedule happen, and you can really shape it to fit your family and your family's needs and your family's traditions. The next schedule I want to talk about is block scheduling. Now, we talked about block scheduling in relation to a weekly or daily schedule, but we're going to be looking at it from a yearly schedule standpoint. Primarily, certain subjects can be block scheduled where you only do this subject during this quarter or this semester. In fact, a lot of public schools do this. They'll only do science for the first half of the year and social studies for the second half of the year, especially in early elementary, you'll see this. Maybe you only want to cover Latin in the fall with your kid and let them take an art elective in the spring. There's many ways to do this. It's kind of fun as it prevents burnout, especially with those subjects that you don't have to do all year long. It would be very difficult to do this with math, where you really need that daily, weekly practice all throughout the year so that you don't forget the content. Now, this schedule is one that I thought I invented, but I don't think I did, because I found out a lot of other families do this same thing. And it is the 6-week on, 1 week off schedule. Basically, we do 6 weeks of school and then plan a week-long break. It works out very well. I have found that the 6 weeks on, 1 week off schedule prevents burnout. It is like the perfect amount of time to do school before everybody starts losing their mind, and then you get to take a week off. The nice thing is those breaks really get spread out throughout the year so that you can enjoy the beautiful weather outside. You can enjoy different activities that are available at different seasons. Maybe you want to go strawberry picking in the spring, and that coincides with your week off then. You want to go to the corn maze in the fall. You want to go to the Christmas light show at the botanical gardens. You can really spread out your breaks so that you can enjoy the year and not get overwhelmed. I used to follow a fairly traditional school schedule. We didn't always get everything done every day, but I tried to. I found, though, that only taking a break once every 9 weeks or so was overwhelming for my kids. They would start getting really burnt out and really discouraged. There would be lots of tears. People would be crying and complaining about their school. I felt pressure just to get through it. I'd stopped caring about whether or not they were interested or actually learning. I just wanted to check off the boxes and move on. But when we started doing the 6 week on, 1 week off school schedule, what I found was it really hit us at that breaking point moment where we needed to take a week. It's easy in a homeschool setting to become a taskmaster, or at least for me, I become a taskmaster and I stop enjoying my kids. So making sure to take time off to rest, to enjoy your kids and have fun with them, and also just to catch up on some of the things around the house that need to be done that fall behind, reduce stress for everybody, help us to enjoy each other more, and make my kids better learners throughout the school year. So for us, we do this schedule and it looks like this. We generally start mid-July and take 6 weeks on, 1 week off. We take a week off at Thanksgiving and 2 or 3 weeks at Christmas. And we do this all school year until the end of May is usually when we finish our school year. Then we take a 6-week summer break and start back up. Owen, please stop. Make her stop hitting that, it's very loud. This schedule has worked very well for us. I feel like it has kept morale up and really utilized the different seasons for lots of fun activities. The big negative is that your breaks will not line up with everyone else's breaks. It can be a bummer when you have a week off of school, but nobody else does. So you want to go to the park with someone and there's no one to go to the park with. I would say that's the main negative. But everything else I feel like is positive and it's worked well for our family, and we've been doing it for 2 years now. So those are my basic year-long schedules that I have seen people follow. Have a schedule that has worked for you that I didn't talk about? Please comment below. I would love to hear it. I would love to know more about what has worked for your family, or maybe you have a question about something I talked about and you'd like to know some practical examples or get help finding what works for your family. Comment below. I try to answer every comment. I try to help everyone that needs help. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Again, it helps us keep making free content for you. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great day.